I don't know, how much you know about electricity in general or specific or electrical theory, but everybody keeps wanting me to define counterspace, and of course that's just a pathetic word which sounds kind of silly. You could say anti-space. I mean, actually space and magnetism and force and motion and centrifugal divergence all refer to one and the same thing, the loss of inertia, but not inertia in the conventional sense that you think of a car having forward momentum and inertia. We're talking about the original denotation of inertia, which would be pure potential. People think of everything ass backwards. Since humanity is stupid, we think of power in backwards terms. Like if you see a nuclear explosion, it's like, wow, there's an enormous amount of power. No, that's the loss of power. True power, or true potential, analogously, would be, that shiny lump of plutonium is just sitting there. It's like, wow, that is true power. It's like, no, it's just a little ball. It's like, no, that's enough to level an entire city. That's the actual power, not the release of power. But what about an electrical ground? In all electrical circuits, what did you think a ground was? Ground is counterspace. Ground is the ether. Ground is inertia. When you talk about a ground, you need to ground the system. Now, there are different types of grounds. There are self-contained systems, like, say, a helicopter where the electrical system is grounded to the aluminum chassis. That's a different type of ground. But we're talking about signal grounding from antennas, or electrical grounding, or grounding an electrical circuit in general. That ground is counterspace. You could actually say, well, to complete the electrical circuit, we need to make the connection to counterspace. That actually is the ground. Where did you think what did you think a ground was in completing an electrical circuit? How did you think that actually differentiated ground from counterspace, or counterspace from ground? It's one and the same thing. This is how most of Tesla's inventions worked. It worked based upon the Earth capacitance. It was based upon using counterspace to actually get out energy by using frequency and harmonics. We can get into that discussion. It is a really deep discussion, but essentially, if, everybody throws around the term ground. A ground is counterspace. That is it. Well, it's lost. It's the completion of electrical circuit. We ground out a potential, like a lightning grounding rod. Well, what do you think a grounding rod is? It's a little metal spike, whether it be copper or aluminum, sitting on the top of a tall apartment building where lightning is dissipated. You're actually trying to ground an enormous amount of electrostatic energy, in the case of lightning, in counterspace. A ground is counterspace. Does it make it a little simpler? I hope so. Bye.